Access module number 2. We are still in session number 1, and we are right down in here where we're going to modify that structure and change the order, maybe add a new field, and then change the format property. All right, let me flip back now to our table of contents and get right back in where we left off. And we left off right here with modifying the structure. So I'm going to click on that one right here and then scooch on over to where we are at. Okay, in Access we go, and we are working in the billing table. I'm going to double click the billing table, and I'm right on in. Now, to truly modify things, I like to go into the design view. So I'm going to click on the home ribbon and the view grouping and click on my toggle button to flip right on in. So we would like to take invoice amount, and I'm going to click on that indicator right there. And we really don't want it in the third position. We would like it in the fourth position. So how do we move that baby down? So with that focus being around the whole thing, we can click hold on. And when we click hold on, we get that little black line. And I'm going to drag it right above invoice paid. And when I do this and I let go, sure enough, now it moved for me. So instead of having to delete everything and start all over again, it's trying to show you this flexibility. We also would like to add a new field, and it's extremely easy to do when, again, you have no records entered, and we don't yet. So I'm going to click on Invoice Paid, and when you insert rows, it always goes above where you currently are. So my focus on Invoice Paid, I do have it all. I don't want to use the word highlighted, but it's definitely in quotes active cell, meaning the focus. And then I'm going to go up to the tools grouping and then insert row. Sure enough, it's right above it. So a field name for this is invoice item. I'm going to hit my space to get over here. We're going to accept the short text. We're going to go right down to the field size because that's the field size just for this field, which is a 40. Hit my caption in that one, and that's going to be invoice space item. And I know it seems like it's not such a huge change, but user-friendly versus crunching it in our expressions, that formula function makes a huge difference. So I'm going to close this, say yes to change my to change the structure, and then we're going to go into the visit table. So double click the visit table, right? And then we're just we're going to take a little look. Now I'm going to make some of these a little bit wider because I want you to see how uh, Access is talking to you, but you just might not realize it. So in Microsoft Excel, we have it that in the one field, or I should say one cell, if it is aligned to the right, that means it's a number or it's a date. If it's aligned to the left, that means then it's text. So sure enough, Access treats this the exact same way, which is wonderful. Let's make some changes to the structure. So let's go to visit date. Okay, now I'm going to click up on the field name and it highlights everything, but I really don't even have to do that. I'm just doing that to show you this interesting thing that it does. Every record has to be treated the exact same way. It has to, because a database is created that way. It's not like Excel where you can go to one cell and then change it. So let's go up to fields in here. And then in the data time, in the format group, I'm going to drop down. And I want you to notice how I'm just on this one. If you think cell, that's okay for now. But it's really just saying that's my focus. But do you see how the field name is highlighted too? So I'm going to click on long date. See what I mean? It's a all or nothing. All or nothing. It treats every record the same way. And you can go to short date. I mean, you can go to medium date. You can click and change whatever you like. All right, I'm going to go back to short date. Now, when I do this in the data sheet view, up on top really is just, it's quick and fast. I mean, we can do it back in the design view, which I would prefer, but when you got something really quick to do, this is a great way. All right, let's go back to the view. Okay, so in the visit one, we already declared the primary key, but just to have good design, we should also declare the foreign key. So I'm going to put it over in the description. I'm going to use the PK because that's what we're learning in our other chapters. And then we're going to go over to the patient ID. Now, patient ID, we don't have this table yet, but the patient ID is going to be the foreign key eventually because we still have to add that third table in. So I'm just going to get ahead and call that the FK. All right, let's clean things up a little bit more. So I'm going to go back to my visit ID. We're going to change this to 4, go down to our caption, and then the caption for this one is going to be visit ID. Okay, let's move on to patient ID. Patient ID, we're going to change that to 5. We're also going to change the caption on that is patient ID. And thank you for being patient with me because I'm going to show you where these spaces show up in just a second. We're going to click on visit date. And then inside the caption, we're going to call this date of visit. Ooh, we're getting fancy now. Reason, we don't want 255 characters. We're going to shorten this to 60. And the caption is going to be reason/diagnose. Okay, walk in with the caption of walk dash in and then question mark. Okay. All right, now what does that really do? Okay, what does that really do? All right, I'm going to close this. I'm going to hit yes to save. Shorter. Okay, I'm going to hit yes. And then I'm going to go back to my visit. And then I want you to look up here. Look at those field names. So visit space ID, patient space ID, date of visit, reason, walk-in. And then if I go back to the actual design view, look at the field names. So if I wanted to run like a query and say, give me all the visit dates that are as of today, right? I would have to use this as my field name to crunch it, where this is so much easier for that user entry, which I do appreciate. Now, another thing is happening which you might not have noticed. So I'm going to click on patient ID and date of visit, reason. And you're like, wait, where is she going with that? I want you to float your eyes way down here to your status bar. Okay. Now we put something in the description. Let me go back here. In the description, it's optional, but where does that show up in this view? So there's reason, and again, eyes are right here. Date of visit, eyes are there. Patient ID, okay, look at that. There's the FK. Whoops, let me click on visit. There's the PK. So whatever we put for that description shows up in the status bar to help guide your data entry person. Super nice. All right, that is the conclusion of session number 1.